A while back, Fritz Meier gave me this Corgi Juniors Wigwam-Van Camper. And then, a little while later, someone suggested, I can't remember if it was Fritz or if it was Austin or who, but they suggested I make this into a BP exploration type vehicle, type van that they would use for business purposes out in the field. And I like that idea. I like the sound of that. I've done one of these wigwam vans before, and to be honest, it was kind of my nemesis. It still kind of is. That one, I did a metallic paint job on and a wheel swap, and basically kept it the same, just modernized it a little bit. And it's kind of a bear for rattle can painters to paint because of the nooks and crannies. It's such an interesting design to this thing, and it makes it tough to paint. As you see here, it has two posts, one towards the front, one towards the back. Both of them are very small posts, as you'll see once I pull the base off of here. Both very small posts, plastic body. The interior, you have to love how that has, like, on the table, a tablecloth, and I think it's a menu on there. The yellow glass kind of pops into place. The glass on this was in pretty good shape, but it needed to be polished, which I do later. And it's just an interesting casting. It's such a peculiar shape. Even the glass, check out the glass. It has an elevated ridge to it. It has the front section that kicks out over the cab. I'm sorry, I'm shaking my head as I look at this casting even now, because it's just so weird. And it really is kind of ideal for a BP exploration type thing. The yellow glass doesn't hurt me at all on this, because I could see them having tinted glass to protect themselves as they're in there working on things, and maybe make the light a little bit better for them. And, one of the colors in the BP logo is yellow. I do go with the modernized BP logo on this. So, drilled it apart, tapped it through some tiny little, these are 172 screws, the exceptionally tiny screws. Again, because of those exceptionally tiny posts. The casting itself, as you see, this is after it's been citrus stripped. All the paint came off of it very easily. And I did need to file it, because while the casting is in excellent shape, there's always little funky areas on these. So, just very quickly, exceptionally quickly in this video, because this is sped up, 4 times normal speed. But, there's some, like there on that back door area, it's like getting in there is impossible. The edges like that are simple to get, but man, trying to decide how I was going to do some of the detail on this was kind of interesting. And as you might expect, I use a lot of decals on this. Decals are kind of my cheat to get into areas where I don't want to try and paint. I'll just throw a decal there. That's just what I did on here. Once the body was all filed down, I'd gone over that with the red Scotch-Brite pad on the Dremel tool. And then I dip it in the isopropyl alcohol to clean it off before printing. Again, for this one, I used Color Shot paints. I used a Color Shot white primer on this. Went over that with the Color Shot white, which, as I recall, is called Marshmallow. Did design a custom decal set for that, including front and back doors. I don't know. The decals aren't fancy. They're basically BP logos. And then I decided to number this vehicle number 704. So I did a 704 for the top so it can be seen by helicopters or any aircraft going by. 704 on the sides and on the back. I did steal wheels off this Tom and Jerry truck. Really nice reel riders. I got this recently off an auction, and the whole reason for me buying it, people just weren't buying it. And I was picking up some things as I could if they had reel riders, because it was cheaper than buying reel riders. So that's another thing about hitting the auctions sometimes, is you can snag some good things that people just don't want and save yourself a few bucks here and there on, things like wheels. Couldn't beat the fact that this had, 6 wheels. A whole extra 2 than usual. I did want to elevate this a little. So what I did is I just drilled through the plastic that's typically on the underside of the base. Drilled holes through that, as you see here. You can kind of see it. Yeah, there you go. You'll see it better a little later. Sprayed the interior with this gray. It's a very light gray. I thought that was a lot better than the yellow. I did not want to keep the yellow plastic interior the same color, because that, BP is not going to have yellow interiors on their vehicles. They might have some accents, that kind of thing. There may be BP logos on the inside, which probably on the inside walls there are. But for like the floor and everything else, I thought, no. I did go over this. That's panel line marker that you see there, that I'm just trying to bring out a little detail in the seat and steering wheel and in the back there. Nothing too extreme. There's not a lot of detail on the interior, but the part I liked best was like the table. So I made a map. I just took an actual map, as you'll see here at the upper right. That's our area right now. And I've been seeing that map a lot lately, because of right now we have a fire nearby, and that's the fire map showing different areas. I thought that'd be a great map for the top of that table. So I just printed it out on white paper, cut it out to size. I used the tacky glue here. Yeah, nothing fancy. I mean, this is really basic stuff. Print out a tiny map, use that white tacky glue, spread it out a little bit, stick the map on it. The nice thing is the glass, especially after polishing it, it's really easy to see through. So you get a good look at the map. And I thought that seemed a lot more realistic for what I make as a exploration mapping vehicle, for them to have a map on the table. I mean, that seems reasonable, right? It wasn't a BP exploration chow wagon. I guess I could have done that, but I didn't. I decided I wanted it to be mapping. So there, those show through the back of the casting, as you'll see once it's done. Did not want those showing up as gray or yellow. Blacked out these areas on the underside because I was worried that you'd see that gray behind the wheels. Because remember, I jacked this up a little bit. Gauzy, gauzy, gauzy. Whew, snuck that in there. I did jack up the vehicle though, and so I wanted to make sure you wouldn't see the gray through there. The glass, I usually don't polish glass with the Dremel tool, because I've burned some badly in the past, long ago. That's what kind of got me to stop using the Dremel tool for that. I've been pretty happy with the things I just polished by hand. This time, because of the size of the glass and how much I wanted to polish it up, I did use the Dremel tool for this, and I couldn't be happier with how it turned out. Between using the Dremel tool and the gauzy, it came out with a great surface on this. So, and you'll see that in the end. But as you can see there, it looked pretty darn good. The wheels, it was tough to get the wheels out, the tires off those wheels. And one trick I'll do now and then is just use a ball bearing and just put that in the front of the wheel, assuming it's not a very fragile wheel, and use that to push that wheel out of the rubber tire. Works really well, especially as you saw in the first part of that, because you can press your weight down on that ball bearing to get it off the sides. The reason I needed to do that is I wanted to trim that little excess that they put on the back. I mean, these things aren't going to be rolling down the track, so I don't need them to be super slick or anything. They don't have to have that added clearance, so they roll exceptionally well. And so, I used music wire. There's the axles that I put through it. And you can see how I did it just on the underside of the body, not using the original suspension that they had. And I used a little piece of axle tube that I cut down like I've done before and just glued that on the ends of that piece of wire once I had the wheels in place. It brought the wheels in closer to the body, which is what I wanted to do. They still stick out a ways, and I like that look. I wanted it to have a look that it could easily go off-road. Not that it's going to be jumping hills or anything like that, or having extreme breakovers that it needs to clear. But if this thing needs to go out in the wild, I mean, if this thing's going to cross a riverbed or it's going to cross some rough terrain, it can do that. That was my goal. I wanted that look to it. And so I think I achieved that on this. There you see it also with all the decals on it at this point. It does have the color shot gloss clear over it once the decals are put on. That glass was popped into place there. If it seemed like it was taking me a while to get that in place, it's because I was taking care with it and pressing in on the sides of it because of how there's two portions, tabs in effect, that click into place once that glass is in there all the way. And then just throw the bottom on here. There is a hitch on the back, so there's that tongue that you stick through. And it still has a post back there. So it's like there's the tab that holds it in addition to both of the screws that you're going to put into it here. So just get those in place. Again, these are 172 screws. So they're exceptionally small. I don't know how many times I need to say that, I guess. I probably say it too many times. But I keep thinking, God, these things are small. It does roll, wheels spin, really because I gave it that extra clearance. If I hadn't those wheels, I would have needed to, grind it out more. Rolls as if it was a Lesney. So here you see the original Corgi Juniors casting that I received from Fritz. Thanks again for this, Fritz. It was fun doing this build. I've had this sitting on the bench for a little while, basically because, I don't know, in a weird way, it kind of intimidated me because I just know what a pain this casting is to rattle can paint. And here you see how it turned out. So, I hope you like it. I hope this is a nice conversion I made here. So that spins her on the turntable for a little bit. There's some glamour shots coming up as well. And I hope you like this build. I'm pretty happy with it. It's fun looking at it next to the other Corgi Juniors Wigwam-Van I did before. I didn't take any pictures of them side by side, but it was fun because the other one I remember at the time was kind of a pain to paint too. Trying to make sure that the... basically, it was metal cast paint that I used. And I had to be careful not to get it to pool or anything like that. So, thanks for watching this video. I hope you like what I did with this. And plan on doing more things like this. So, everybody, stay safe and healthy out there. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.